This video we're going to talk about the southern star trails. If they're that far above the north, they'd still be able to see Polaris, like right at the equator. So we're going to say it's like that's how far they can see. You need the dome curving like this, creating this hemispherical lens. Because the hemispherical lens that we create with how far we can see, it does not do with stars. This dome right here will create the southern star trails that we need. And I'll show you what I mean by a hemispherical lens and how it works. So anyway, I'll show you what I'm talking about how far we can see. Now this is definitely not to scale, but we'll say this hemispherical lens right here is just the distance that you can see on the Earth. Now it'd be much bigger. Okay, and then you take your stars, and they would be up here. So you'd have your Earth down there, and the distance you can see, and then your stars would be like over the top, you know, like that, to where they would just rotate above you overhead, and you would see only what you could see from that sphere there, and it would look like this. So all the constellations, even when you get down way down in there and look to the side, so all the stars you could see, you'd be able to see from that point of view, from the center of that sphere, hemispherical lens. So we create a hemispherical lens by how, just on the distance that we can see. It wouldn't make sense in the square. Now as you can see, we can get it to make the two different rotations. You see the clockwise and the counterclockwise. See that there? Now, if it were a hemispherical lens, we would see that our eyes were creating. We would see this no matter where we were on Earth. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. I did one of these where I just took a compass and drew a bunch of circles. And I drew dots on it. I was messing around. The neatest one I did was this single dot right here. Now, when you have a single dot, watch what I can get this single dot to do. You can get it, look at that. And it even curls around both edges, kinda. And then it just disappears. Boop. Boop. Now, if it were a hemispherical lens, it would even do this. Look at, see, even when we're at Polaris here in the center, whichever way is south is where that is going to happen. It's not really, whichever way is to the outer edge from the center. Do you notice that? Wherever Polaris I put it, it's always on the opposite side. It's so just like you would be looking south or towards the outer edge is where you would see that circular rotation. But we don't see this at 40 degrees north, where I'm from, 41 degrees north. So what I'm trying to say is the lens created by our eye, or perspective, just the distance that you can see in every direction, does not create this type of lens. This has to be created somewhere else, which is pointing me towards a solid structure on the outer edge. well, not even a solid truck. There has to be a dome shaped. It has to be this one. I was leaning towards, hey, it could be this, no problem. And then I started playing with these lenses, and this that we create ourselves with our eye does not create this. It just doesn't do it. So we have to go somewhere else to an actual, a solid lens up there. Something creating this that we see.